friends, Michelle here, back with another Tag Tuesday tag video. Today I'm going to be participating in the It's Still Autumn tag. Where I live, we're not still in autumn, it's very much winter, full on winter right now. However, I do acknowledge that it's not actually officially winter until December 21st. So yeah, I thought I'd go ahead and do this It's Still Autumn Time tag. Thank you so much to Victoria at the Minimalist Reads for tagging me to do this one. I love all the prompts here. And if you're not familiar with what a tag video is, it's a series of questions that you have to reply to that give you an opportunity to talk about books. And I don't need any excuse to talk about books, but it's even better when you have icebreaker type questions to answer to prompt you to talk about certain types of books. So without further ado, I'm going to go ahead with my falling into winter tag. Alrighty, first question here, or prompt rather, is crunching leaves. The world is full of colors. Choose a book that has red, orange, or yellow on the cover. I love these covers. The first one I have here is The Doorman by Chris Pavone. As you can see, lots of red and yellow happening here, orange as well. This is a book about a doorman at this fancy apartment style hotel in New York City. And we follow all the residents of this place, their comings and goings. I think there's a mystery at the heart of this story. And yeah, I'm looking forward to reading this one. Beautiful fall themed color cover. Next prompt, Cozy Sweater Weather, a book that feels like a warm hug. This one, Tell Me Everything by Elizabeth Strout. This is the second book by Elizabeth Strout that I've read, and I thoroughly enjoyed this one. It really does feel like a warm hug. It's the perfect cozy read. There is, however, a lot of emotional intensity, even though plot-wise, it's not the most fast-paced and rollicking type of book. You'll fall in love with the people in here and get really invested in their relationships. It's just fantastic. And also I should mention, you don't have to have read her other books to enjoy this one. It's a standalone, and you do get to meet all the people that inhabit her world. So yeah, fantastic. I really love this book. Love the cover, and yeah. All right, number 3, Pumpkin Spice Everything. I happen to love pumpkin spice. A book everyone seems to love, but you might not. Well, this is interesting because, as you know, The Goldfinch by Donna Tartt is one of my all-time favorite books. I talk about it all the time on my channel here. Many videos I've talked about it. I love Donna Tartt. I love her writing. She's not very prolific, however. She has only had 3 or 4 novels published, I believe. The only one of her novels I've actually read is The Goldfinch. And one of her other books, The Secret History, is also a very popular book. It happens to be my current read. And yeah, I have no excuse as to why I haven't picked this up yet, other than I find the trope of dark academia kind of off-putting. I think that's what gave me hesitation, because I don't find that trope or that theme very interesting in a book. Like dark academia book set in a university or some kind of school setting isn't really a selling factor to me. Like it does, I don't know. I don't find it that particularly interesting. I know a lot of people love it, but anyhow, I'm on page 16. So far, I'm loving it. Her writing is just top notch. And yeah, I'm hoping I continue to love it. I'm still kind of, as you know, I'm not very far in, so still on the fence. I don't know if I'll like it or not, but I'm thinking so far I'm loving it. So yeah, this is a book that many, many people love that I might not. I'll see what happens and hope for the best. Number 4, Crisp Fall Air, a book that made you feel refreshed or give you a new perspective. I read this book here a couple years ago. I'm talking about the book Hotline by Dimitri Nasrallah. This book was on the long list for the Giller Prize here in Canada, and I'll just give you the synopsis. It's 1986, and Muna Haddad is in a bind. After escaping Lebanon's civil war, she hoped to work as a French teacher in Montreal. But no one trusts her to teach the language. The only work Muna can get is at a weight loss center. All day she takes calls from people phoning a hotline who are responding to ads seen in magazines or on TV. These strangers all have so much to say once someone shows interest. Marriages gone bad, parents dying, isolation, personal inadequacies. Even as her new life faces invisible barriers at every turn, on the phone, Muna is privy to the city's deepest secrets. So yeah, fascinating look at not only this one woman's experience immigrating, escaping the Civil War and coming to Canada to start a new life with her young son. It's fascinating on a lot of different levels. This opened my eyes to, the immigrant experience, how difficult it can be to find a job, just day-to-day life kind of thing. It's the 1980s. It's a weight loss call center. Muna is a fantastic character, and just following her day-to-day adventures with all the people who phone in and hear her voice and confide in her their secrets. Fantastic book, eye-opening, and I absolutely loved it. All right. Number 5, apple picking. A book you picked up on a whim and ended up loving. So a couple years back, I was in my local favorite big box bookstore and perusing the shelves when I saw this. Wow, No Thank You by Samantha Irby. I love this cover, a bunny rabbit. I love the title, the sarcasm and wit. And what drew my attention is that this is an essay collection, which is something I don't typically read. So I thought, well, it's just a little book. Maybe I should get into reading essays. And am I ever glad I did? Samantha Irby here. She is so hilariously funny. In this collection, she shares her experiences, what it's like to work as a screenwriter in, I think, yeah, it says she has the life of a Hallmark Channel dream. She goes on bad dates with new friends, spends weeks in Los Angeles taking meetings with TV executives, amateur astrologers, while being a cheese fry eating, slightly damp Midwestern person with neck pain and no cartilage in her knees, who still hides past due bills under her pillow. So it's very funny. She's hilarious. That's all I have to say. I don't know how else to explain it, but yeah, absolutely fantastic. She actually was one of the writers on the show Sex and the City. And yeah, there's some, risque language in here. She's very frank, very honest about herself and her bodily functions. But yeah, picked this on a whim, loved it so much. I ended up reading all of her essay collections. Quietly Hostile, Meaty, and probably the most honest and touching of them all, which is We Are Never Meeting in Real Life. This cat on the cover is actually her pet cat, who is a bit of a hellion, and yeah. So if you want a good laugh, a lighthearted read of this fantastic essay collection, I would recommend any of her books, but this is a good place to start. Wow, no thank you. Alrighty, moving on. Okay. Scary Movie Night, a book that genuinely spooked you. This is a book I read back in oh boy, I want to say 2005. It actually, yeah, came out in 2000. I read it in 2003-ish or something like that, but this is a nonfiction book called The Bear's Embrace, a true story of surviving a grizzly bear attack by Patricia Van Tighem. One of the best written accounts of what happens when this, she was a nurse. She's a nurse who lived in Calgary, Alberta, close to where I live. And being that I've spent a lot of time in the Rocky Mountains, hiking and such, I just find I'm really interested in wildlife. Grizzly bears, black bears, you name it. Anyway, she tells a tale of what happened to her and her husband and all the repercussions of this. What I loved is that, you know, it doesn't vilify the bear in this situation, as horrific as the events are. But what really was chilling and spooky was that I could put myself exactly in this situation. I've walked the exact trail where this took place. I know what it smelled like, what it sounded like, and thankfully, I did not experience an actual attack from a grizzly bear. I don't want to see one up close, thank you very much, but just being in this story and hearing it from her perspective scared the crap out of me. Spooked me, let's be honest about it. So yeah, and for anyone who happens to believe that grizzly bears cannot climb trees, you're wrong. They can. They're very adept at climbing trees, and especially when there is a sow grizzly protecting her cubs, as is the case in this story. So yeah, it's very intense. Proceed with caution if you're sensitive to horrible things happening in real life to people. But yeah, this gave me a healthy respect for nature and bears and kind of spooked me and freaked me out, to be honest. So yeah. Alrighty. Football season. A book that had you cheering for characters like they were your own team. I recently read this book, Snap, by Susan Nielsen. Loved all three of the main characters in this book. Cheered them all the way. I wanted nothing for them but to overcome their circumstances and succeed and live happily ever after. So, yeah, fantastic. All right. Number 8, Changing Leaves, a book where a character goes through a major transformation. So the book that immediately came to mind for me with this one is All Fours by Miranda July. A lot of people have mixed feelings. There's a lot of mixed reviews of this. I'm in the I love this book camp, and one of the things I love most is that the main character does go through a really intense transformation, and she comes out on the other side of it. Not going to give away anything, but yeah, I can't recommend this highly enough. If you're curious, I'd encourage you to pick it up and check it out for yourself. All Fours by Miranda July, and I look forward to reading more from her. All right, Pumpkin Patch. Your favorite fall-themed or autumn set book. Recent favorite, Stephen King, 11/22/63. This book is mostly set in the month of October. Halloween features prominently in this book, as well as the events of November 22nd, 1963, but mostly this does take place in the month of October in spooky season. So yeah, and there's an especially creepy kind of a storyline that happens. So yeah, this was actually the perfect autumn read. I read it in November, but it would be great to sit down with this in fall, in October, September, October, November. Fantastic, because it is set during that time of year. All right. Bonfire Nights, a book you'd want to read with friends or discuss in a group. I would love nothing more than to discuss this book Burnham Wood by Eleanor Catton. If you're not familiar, we're following several different timelines, but the main focus of this story is a cult in the middle of the countryside in New Zealand. This is set in New Zealand. The book opens with a major natural disaster, a landslide that causes a natural barrier, and this plot of land is isolated from civilization, basically. Anyways, yeah, there is so much to talk about in here. There are themes of, relationship dynamics, marriage, romantic relationships, survival, wilderness survival, personality dynamics, politics, climate change, wealth and poverty, extreme weather. There's so much that could be discussed about this, and I can see people having really polarized feelings about this book. I can see all different types of opinions coming out after having read this. So this actually reminded me of the Survivor reality TV show that I used to watch back in the 2000s. It's got all those elements. It's got suspense. It's got some elements of horror a little bit. It's a thriller. And yeah, it's one of those that just defies description. I would love to discuss this in a group of people because, like I said, I can see people having all different types of opinions about this one. Burnham Wood by Eleanor Catton. All right, number 11, Hayrides and Corn Mazes, a book that kept you guessing and had lots of twists and turns. Havoc by Christopher Bolin. Oh my gosh, I don't even know what to say about this. It's a tiny slip of a book, and I cannot believe how much story is packed into these pages, this few pages. This left me gobsmacked. The twists and turns in here had me thinking, what the heck did I just read? It stayed with me after I read it. Unforgettable characters, a fast-moving plot if you like something really sharp and dynamic. And this is set in Egypt, which I found really interesting. I think it's the first book I've ever read that is set there in the near the pyramids. So yeah, fantastic, atmospheric, and it'll make you wonder, like I said, what the heck did I just read? As the cover suggests, it's got all kind of twists and turns. I don't even know what more to say about that one. Number 12, Thankful Heart, a book that you're grateful exists. There are so many. All of my favorite books I'm grateful for. Every book I've read this year I'm grateful for, but one that sticks with me, that has stuck with me, that I plan to reread is A Student of Weather by Elizabeth Hay. I'm grateful this exists because to me this is the perfect historical fiction novel. Set in the Dust Bowl in the prairies of 1930, we're following a main character named Norma Joyce, her family, this stranger that shows up at their door in the middle of a snowstorm one day, and how he impacts all of their lives, moves through different timelines and locations, and it is just a sweeping, epic book to get lost in and curl up with if you're wanting to have a fantastic time. I love this. It's very cinematic also. I could see this being a movie. It played out as a movie in my head as I was reading it, and loved it. Number 13, First Frost, a book that gave you chills, spooky, atmospheric, or emotional. Well, this book is all three. It was spooky, it was atmospheric, and it was emotional. And there is a TV show out there. I think Netflix made a show based on this book, but it is I'm Thinking of Ending Things by Ian Reid. This is a book that just when you think you have it figured out, you don't. That's all I'm going to say. It is a psychological thriller. It's atmospheric. It is, you get a sense of foreboding and the chills. Like, I felt chilled. And then when I did figure out what was happening, I was like, oh my God, this is intense. And yeah, it will leave you feeling something, believe me. I'm Thinking of Ending Things by Ian Reid. Check it out if you're so inclined. I loved it. I love this one. So there you have it. All 13 of those prompts from the It's Autumn Time tag, even though where I live it's winter, it's December. You know, what can you do? I'm already looking forward to spring. So I'm going to tag some people to participate. If I didn't tag you and you want to do this tag, please be my guest. It's fantastic. And I hope you're enjoying the weather wherever you live. And I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching. Bye.